Okay, we're continuing today in the project of Sicha. We're going to learn Shabbos Parshas Shoftim. We're going to learn Sicha of Shoftim, Sicha Aleph of Parshas Shoftim. Very, very geschmack Sicha. The Rebbe brings out here the question, and the main point in the Sicha is what is a melech and what is a nosi. The Parshas, when you look at it, everybody knows that a melech is obviously much higher than nosi, or as we could say, there could be a nosi, not a melech, but a melech is always a nosi. So the Rebbe said, the Rebbe has a beautiful question. We see in Aloha, in Rambam, in other places, we see that a nosi in one aspect is higher than a melech. How could it be? This is the question. And the Rebbe is going to answer it beautiful. Why is it that a melech is symbolizing with heart and a nosi symbolizing with the head? Why is it? Beautiful explanation. And then by the end, the Rebbe is going to bring out that we see something very unique and very interesting. Dafke by Moshe Rabbeinu and Moshiach. Goyel Rishon and Goyel Achoin have a very unique thing. They both have both things. Both of them are nosi and melech. And for us, obviously, is the greatest thing that it's going to show us what the Rebbe means to us. That the Rebbe is melech and the Rebbe is nosi. The Rebbe is melech. What is the difference with melech and nosi? Melech gives all the gashmias that we need, and nosi gives all the ruchnias. And Moshiach, it says clear that Moshe Rabbeinu was a Rav and he was a melech. Rabbi Shurun melech. Moshiach is going to be. That's what the Rebbe is. The Rebbe is in answering, give away his life for the gashmias of every Eid and every little thing that we asked. And as we see by Moshe Rabbeinu, that Moshe Rabbeinu officially, man was in Moshe's chus, Mayim was Beiro Shel Miriam, and Anonim was in chus for Miriam. The Miriam passed away and Aaron passed away at the same time. Miriam passed away Yud Nisan, and Aaron passed away right after that Rosh Chodesh Shov. So it stopped. What do we do? So the Rebbe gave it back in schools of Moshe. And there's a whole beautiful Sicha, a long Sicha explanation. How come that the Chatchile went from Miriam and Aaron? Moshe Rabbeinu was supposed to with our all beautiful explanation. But at the end, when Aid needs it, the Rebbe is there. Moshe gives it to them. He gives them everything. Then we see also Ruchnias. Moshe gave Torah in Sinai. So he gave us Torah. Mashiach is going to be Yelamed et Kolom Kuloi Torah in his Melech HaMashiach. So we see both things there. As the Rebbe is going to bring it out beautifully in this Sicha. So in this Parsha there's a mitzvah, one of the mitzvahs that is in Parsha, Soim Tosim Olech HaMelech. That you have to, when you come in Eretz Yisrael, the mitzvah is Chal, one of the mitzvahs when you come in Eretz Yisrael, you have to do a Melech. Benegei HaMelech steht in Tshuvat HaRashbo, the Rashbo says, as a Melech ketzibur. The Melech is like the tzibur, like the kol. Shatzibur v'kol Yisrael tluyim boy. All the tzibur and all Am Yisrael are totally dependent on the Melech. Endlich dazu steht in Tanchume. Tanchume says almost the same thing. Sheroish Adoir u kol Ador. Oder beloshon Rashi, as Rashi says, Shenosi Adoir u Akoil, ke Anosi u Akoil. That's an interesting Rashi brings down in Chumash Dvorim, when Moshe Rabbeinu repeats what happened with the Eden. So there's a story that it says in Parshas Chukas, Vayishlach Moshe Malochim. And when it comes, Moshe repeats, it says Vayishlach Yisrael Malochim. So what is here? Vayishlach Moshe, Vayishlach Yisrael. Who sent it? Rashi says clearly, when it says Vayishlach Yisrael, it means Moshe. When it says Moshe, it means Yisrael, because he is everything. So we see here already the idea of that it says that Melech is Kechol HaTzibur, or in Rashi's Loshen, the Nosi is a Kohen. In Rambam says differently. Rambam says Benegei HaMelech, Sheliboy hu leiv kol Ka'al Yisrael. The heart of the Melech is the heart of Am Yisrael. What does it mean? The Rebbe is going to explain what the Rambam means. The Parshas is the time for Avos HaMelech. Somebody's waiting. Okay. The Parshas is the time for Avos HaMelech is Leiv Kol Ka'al Yisrael. Why is he calling him Leiv Kol Ka'al Yisrael? Weil also wie der Chais vom ganzen Guf ist abhängig in Leiv, also ist Kol Ka'al Yisrael abhängig im Melech, kenit Kalel Berashbo, as Kol Yisrael tluyim boy. What is the heart doing? The heart is giving blood. It's interesting just to note that how does the heart itself live? If anything, there's no blood, there's no chayas. And I keep telling the story always. There was a Nebuch, a lady, a shluchim somewhere, and a child came home from school with a very bad cut on the finger. And she didn't know what to do. It was late at night, there was no emergency room, whatever. She took a rubber band and she put it around, very tight. And Nebuch, next morning, there was a terrible thing with this child. So when there's no blood, there's no chayas. So the heart gives blood to everybody. Who gives chayas to the heart? So it's very interesting when the blood goes out from the aorta. It's called the Rambam calls it. The Rambam calls it very interesting. The Rambam calls it in Ilches Trefes. By Behemoth he calls it Amazrika Godel, the big syringe, because it's the biggest vein, the biggest artery in the body. So as soon as it goes out, there's little veins coming out of it and going back to the heart and gives him blood. And this is what means a bypass. When the blood that comes back from the aorta comes back to the heart, and so if it gets blocked, so you bypass it. Here is a blockage, so you open up here, and you put in a new vein from the foot, from the end. So this is the idea that the heart is giving blood to the whole body. Without the heart, there's nothing there. Okay, everybody is in. Okay, so that's why a melech is the same thing. He is the heart of Am Yisrael. And as the Rashba says, the Rebbe brings out the Rashba again, Kol Yisrael tluyim boy. As the whole body is totally in the heart, Kol Yisrael is tluyim in the melech. Now the Rebbe asking the beautiful question. This is the only one question in the Sicha. Darf man verstehen? Aber der Leib auf seinem Kabel sehr reich von Leib. You have just established that the whole body lives from the heart. Is aber der Anoge von alle Vore Aguf open gegen Moyach. That means that even the heart is getting the command and is getting the chai, is getting everything from the moyach. So who is higher? The moyach is higher from the leg, obviously. The heart gives blood to the whole body. How does it give blood to the whole body? The moyach is telling him to do it. So the moyach is higher. Was der Fahrer, afilu apal as berer to the andere Evra Guf, that there's a levon Guf Melech. We call the heart, we call the Rambam calls the Melech, is over the Roish, the Melech al kol Evorov. And the Rebbe brings down very geschmack from Netzutze Euros Be'Uvel Zoya. I heard it from the Rebbe himself by bringing very geschmack that the Rosh Teves of Melech, is Moyach Leiv Kovet. All idea of Chassidus, the Alter Rebbe's innovation. What is it? Chabad. What is it? Moyach Shalit Alalev. That's the whole Tanya and the whole Chassidus. That Beteva Moyach Shalit Alalev. So what does it mean? When are you a melech? Each and every one. When could you be a melech? When do you call a melech? You are a melech, and first comes moyach, then comes leiv, and then comes kovid. Kovid is the liver. What is the difference? Moyach is the machshovet, thinking what you're going to do. Heart is the emotion, and then kovid shows an actual doing, because kovid is the filter of the blood. This is actual doing something as mindset the poem. So what?
And if it's nothing, it's chum.
Right, but you have to close it because we're taping it for the app. So please close your.
Shoftim is more living covered is Chabad.
Very good. Okay, we have to write it down. So the Rebbe says that a person. Very nice. So he came up that Melech, the last words of Moyach Levin Koved is Chabad. This is the idea. What's the idea? The idea is that Moyach, if you go with Moyach and then you go with Lev, first goes Moyach and he Shalit Alalev, then comes action, then you're a Melech. How about if you do, the Rebbe said it by Verbringen, how about if you go first with that? I'm going with emotion, then I'm going to think, and then I'm doing, what is that? A Lemech.
There's also Chelek.
Wait, Lemech. Then if you first is action, and then you go with emotion, then you go with the brain, it's klum, as Levi mentioned. Then it's klum. Nothing. So the idea is that although it's called melech, but still there's something above him. What is it? The moyach. So the question is, what is the question going to be? Einfach was? Vergleich man am melech, was in Yonah is doch a noga soom, asher yitziem, asher yevim, the Moshe Rabbeinu asked the Rebbe in Parshas Pinchos that he should get the Rebbe told him that he's not going into this role. So he's asking the Rebbe should make a manik of the Eden, asher yitziem, asher yevim. The aroye v'tzena, he should be like a shepherd and his flock. So why is he similar to Lev, Kol Kal Yisrael? Beautiful question. If you say that Moyach is higher than the heart, you should have said that Melech is the Moyach and not the heart. Ois base. The Torah Shebiksav, in Torah Shebiksav we find, Torah Shebiksav is Loshen Toiro. Gefindt men benegea lemelech, oich dem Toya Nossi. The Rebbe is going to bring out something very interesting. That when we learn in Chumash, we could see, when it says Melech, when it says Nossi, it means Melech also. Where do we see it? We see in Parshas Vayikro, Asher Nossi Yecheto, Umefarish Besifro al Asar, Ubemishne. The Sifro and the Mishnah are explaining what does it mean Asher Nossi Yecheto. Who is this Nossi? Who is he? It says Ezu Nossi, Zem Melech. That a Melech Yisrael Pidita Aveire, there's a special thing how he has to do tshuva and what korban we should bring. Ezu Nossi Zem Melech. וכהמשך שוב שאין על גבו אלא השם אלוקו. The Melech is in such a level that there's nothing that is higher than him, only the Rebishter. He doesn't have to give anybody reports, he doesn't anything. Who does he have to be? Who is higher than him? The Rebishter. Also Yoich wird Melech המשיח angerufen בנבואה של חזקאל ואוהד, נוסי. So we see two places. In Chumash we see that it says Nasi Yechato goes on a Melech, and here it says in Yechezkel of Melech HaMashiach that he's a Melech and he's a Nasi. Afal Pikein is the Parshas Atoya Melech Gresa with Atoya Nasi, ולחבר גינוס אויך for a Nasi Shevet Gaitzim. As we said before, a Melech could be a Nasi could not be a Melech. What does it mean? When I say Nasi, could be a Nasi of a Shevet, could be a Nasi of a street, could be a Nasi of a part of the Shul, a president of the Shul, a Nasi of the Shul. It doesn't have to be. But a Melech is higher than a Nasi. ובענייננו גפינים ירכניס כלאל, אז Nasi Adoyo בלושן רש"י, ואת אבם גזוקת, אז wird angerufen, במדרש רויש Adoyo. That's what we think, it's called רויש Adoyo. Now comes the question from the beginning of the Sicha till now. We say that a Melech is the Leib, and a Nasi is the Roish, והד Shaila anal noch starker. Wie kommt es, dass a Melech, was ist größer wie a Nasi, soll sein bloß Leib kol Kal Israel und nicht Roish. Who is the Roish? The Nasi. Why is it? Okay, Roish Gimel. If we don't understand Be'egden, we're going to preface something, and then we're going to understand very simple what the answer is. Veloshel Chachomim is a chiluk ikri zwischen the Toyarim, Melech and Nasi. Yeah? We said before that in Toiro, Melech could be Nasi, and Nasi could not be Melech, but in Loshel Chachomim is a major difference between a Melech and a Nasi. What's the difference? Melech is kipshute beloshen Toiro, Nasi, I'm sorry, Melech is kipshute beloshen Toiro. That's a Nasi. A Melech. Nasi koroi, Nasi as a neder. Balkolponim, Nasi ben yonim ruchnim. What the Rebbe says in these few words, we're going to see it later more in detail, a Melech is made to help his nation in Gashmias, and Moshe Rabbeinu tell the Eibishter, Asher Yitzim v'Asher Yiviem, soon we're going to explain what it means, Asher Yitzim v'Asher Yiviem. A Nasi is more in yonim ruchnim. A teacher, aloches, and teaching the oil, that's what a Nasi is. And with the Mishnah sagt, Nasi ve'av bezen. The Mishnah calls him Nasi ve'av bezen. What's Av bezen? Av bezen gives out psokim, the Teiros, and all these things. And the Gemore, we see in Gemore also, Ilel shekoirin oischo Nasi Yisrael. There was a story in Gemore that there was somebody who made a bet with a friend, and he told him that Ilel, he can never get him upset, can never get him nervous. So he said, I'm sure you, and he made up a bet, if you do it, you're getting 400 golden zuvim or something like that. So he came in the night time, they were screaming from the window, Hillel! He came out of the window, he says, ask him a question, shtus him. He went back. And it was middle of washing or whatever, and he came back. Erev Shabbos, yes. And he came back, and finally, he saw that it's not working. So he told him, are you Hillel that they called you Nasi Israel? So anyway, he lost his money. So we see that it says clearly in the Gemara, Hillel is Nasi Israel. What is that Nasi doing? So we see, Hillel v'Shimon, noagol nesiyuso b'fnei habayis, meyo shono. There was very interesting in the Gemara that tells us, where is it? It says the Maremokem here, Gemara in Shabbos. Gemara in Shabbos tells us that there was 4 generations. There was, I forgot the names, Hillel, Shimon, Shimon's son, and his son's son. So it was Hillel and Shimon, and Hillel's grandson and great-grandson. There were 25 years each one a Nasi ran in the time of Mea Bais. So after it became was Demol and given Melochim Israel, and I call him Nasi. So I said it's not contradicting. There could be a Nasi could be a Nasi, and there could be a Melech on top of him. Melochim Ksherim, Bedine Melech Aleim. The Rebbe brings down in Hour 25, starting from Zerubbabel, Malchei Hashmonoi, and Agrifas, they were all Melochim, and they had Dinei Melech Aleim, and still there is Hillel, and his son and his grandson are called Nasi. This is a Chelek Ikri Bedin. This is more beautiful. There comes out a Chelek Ikri Bedin from a Nasi bis a Melech. What's the Ikri Din? Nasi shemochal al kvoidei mochul. If a Nasi comes to shul and he says, I'm moichel mein kovet, don't give me aliyah or something else, so you're allowed to accept it, you're allowed to take it in. But when it comes to a Melech, it's ein kvoidei mochul. He can't forgive his covet. Even if he says, I don't want, you are mechuyev in his covet. So I see a major difference between a Melech and a Nasi. From that we learn that it makes sense. It makes sense. As al derech zeh der chilik beloshn teuro in dagis nosi melech uzayn bemelech atzmoy. So we said that beloshn chachomim is a major difference between a melech and a nosi. But in teuro there could be a melech that is also a nosi. From the chilukim zwischen a melech and a nosi beloshn chachomim, what do we see the chilukim? Aleph. A melech is in Yonah, now the Rebbe explaining what we said in the beginning of Ois Gimel, that a melech is for Gashmias, all Yitzrochim, and a nosi is Ruchnias. A melech is in Yoni lasus mishpot u'milchomos. That's what a melech is. And brings down from the Rambam that a melech is to take people to the war and to make sure that everybody is safe and do all the laws that they need. Oda beloshn hakosuv asher yitzim v'asher yivim. Aber nicht oiroe. A melech is nothing shaykh to oiroe, to teaching. To oiroe means piskedinim and everything. Malchei Yisrael Torah bichlal nicht dan sein. Aloch in Rambam. A melech is not allowed to done. Ein donin. Afile Malche Beis David was done in Emesom. The Rambam says, the Gemara says, and the Rambam brings down that Malche Beis David are allowed to do donin. There is a condition. What's the condition? Is aber ein Moshe benoise besanedrim. So regular Melochim are not allowed to done sein. Malche Beis David could be done, but not in Sanhedrin. So
they're not allowed to judge, or they're not allowed to be judged.
This what talking here is not allowed to be judged. You're talking about the different things that it was when the story with the Svorim, and it says there's a lotion ein dan ve'ein donin. Yeah, there was a psak-din from the judge that the Rebbe doesn't have to go to court to testify.
No, here's
I said lo don ve'ein donin oison. Yeah, ein don ve'ein donin oison. Yes, this is what the Rebbe said. There was a day, a special day that we celebrate when the judge gave mouth. I don't remember the date, but the Rebbe is not a melech you're right. A very good point. So there's both. Okay, Yud Gimel Kislev. Okay, for the records we do Gimel Kislev. Okay, so we have a difference, one difference between a melech and a nosi. Simple, very gishmak. Yeah, the question is very gishmak, very simple. If I say that the moyach is higher than the heart because the heart also lives from the moyach, how come that a nosi that is lower you call him moyach, and a melech that is higher you call him leif? Simple, very simple Geschmack question. Und lass uns Mishpot, we have a question. Und lass uns Mishpot, was steht, lechoire, steht doch lass uns Mishpot, was steht bei ihm, yeah? Der Rambam passt, that a melech is, lass uns Mishpot u'milchomois. What is Mishpot? Mishpot means in teure dinim. The Rebbe says, no, meant nicht as so der Choyke v'doyo sein. He's not doing inspection and he's asking questions. What is it called? Is not interrogating. That's investigating, interrogating. The doyer is an paskin and them din. The Rebbe underlined. He's not doing it. No, beiker asiyas mishpat. What do you mean asiyas mishpat? Durchführen der mishpat ha-teuro. Lasses mishpat means that he has to fulfill whatever, exactly. This Parshas starts Shoftim v'Shoitrim. The Melech has to see that whatever the Beis Din gave out upside, he makes sure that it's going to be fulfilled. But was der Besen geht raus oder der Mishpat was am Melech tut כפי מה שהשור צריכו. So what does it mean? There is a loch in Rambam that if there's somebody who likes to trick and is aroitzeach and he goes in and does it late at night and he makes sure that nobody sees, what do we do? And people know that this guy is a killer. So the Rambam says that the Melech could, that person, he could take him out and kill him without din, without nothing. So this is called also lasis mishpat, but not done sein is not done. Okay, so we have now we have the Melech, right? What we did till now is what a Melech is. Yeah. Mashenken anosi shikoyer no iseh chachomim the chachomim kolam nosi is adrabe. Iker in yono is voser is the roish sanedrin. Beloshon Rambam. A godel, the Rambam says what it means. Listen to this quotation from the Rambam. A godel bechochem shebekulon, the guy that is the chochem of all of them. Meshibeno sheroish aleim, see them down as is the head of the Sanhedrin. Ve'roish hayeshive, ve'hu shikoyron shachachomim nosi v'chol clear words in the Rambam. This is what chachomim call him a nosi. In all the places when you hear nosi, that means that he is a chochem and he's giving out the psak dinim. Ve'hu oimet tachas Moshe Rabbeinu, and he is second to Moshe Rabbeinu. That's what a nosi is under Moshe Rabbeinu. But Sanhedrin zane beloshon Rambam, another quotation, the amute ya'iroe, umehem chok umishpat yetzel kol Yisrael. What's a nosi? He is giving out the halachas, he is giving out the dintoires, he is giving out the piskei dinim, and whatever they say goes up. What does the melech do? The melech is supporting milchomes, gashmias is giving them, he makes sure that the economy is good, he makes sure the army is ready. All this is shaykh to the melech. Mashenken piskei dinim ain't done. A melech is not done. And even we said that the melochim of Malchei Beis David that they are done, not in Sanhedrin, shows you that they can be in Sanhedrin. Wherever they are, where they live, and he's called a Nossi, and he's trying to give a dintoire there, a small dintoire of Fatik, he could do. But in Sanhedrin, not allowed to be, because this is not their inyan of a melech, even Malchei Beis David. Malchei Beis David means there's a special inyan of Malchei Beis David. Moshiach is going to be from David HaMelech, not from Malchus Yehuda or the other Melachim that they were. And now the Rebbe is giving here, it's interesting, whatever is in Ois Ches, what is Yehuda? Right. Yosef, Israel, right, you're right. Yeah. So the Rebbe says here, the Nikudim, what we said before, the unique thing about Moshe Rabbeinu Mashiach. Here he gives the outline, he gives it to you, and then he's going to explain it in Ois Ches. Yeah, right. So, but interesting,
the reason it comes in over here is because the Rebbe mentioned that so mentioned Moshe.
But Lechoire in feels that doesn't belong here. This was supposed to start the Israel. Huh? Yes. I said the same thing. Lechoire doesn't belong here. No, dazu is Moshe sein the Groye Israel Melech Israel vierte Roy Chon mit Kol Elyon mit Tachos Knal Israel. Moshe Rabbeinu is a Roye Israel and he's a Melech, so he does both things. He's Gashmias and Ruchnish, as we say in Ois Ches. The interesting thing, as we have to take it to us and see that this is what our Rebbe is. Melech and Nossi, as we're going to see by the end. Ois Beis. So we had one difference between a Melech and a Nossi. Melech is only Gashmias, Nossi is only Ruchnish. Now the second thing, Beis. A Melech darf der Arm zustellen als alle seine Rezönisch. Wie der Rambam ist Marich als Melech. What is a Melech? The nation has to give him everything that he needs. And the Rambam says in a quotation from the Rambam, he could take anybody that he likes. You see somebody is a tall man, a strong man, a nice man, he takes them, and when the Melech is going with his awesome bogey, there's a special thing, and the Melech has 10, 20, 50, I don't know how many people in front of him when he goes. People come out to see the Melech is coming. He sees such beautiful tall men and going in front of the Melech, ayin of Kovet. So Melech can do whatever he wants to. And even more, he sees somebody who's a special craftsman, and he wants to make a nice, his house should look nice, the windows or the tables. He could take him, come, you must work for me, there's no questions asked. And when he could even take away some. He sees a beautiful orchard that gives up beautiful fruits. He could take it away. He even gets Mainzer from whatever grows. So what do we see by a Melech? Everything that he gets and everything that he needs, he gets from us. Mashein ken Anossi, Abal te Azoicher is v'yeda parnas al hatzibur ben parnas min hatzibur. Anossi is parnas al hatzibur. He is giving out the halachas to the tzibur. What happens to him? He needs to live also. Where does he get money? So the Rebbe said, he is getting the money from the tzibur. Lechoire is the same thing as a melech. The Rebbe says, no, it's not. He does know was nimmt sein bestimmte parnose von day. He works, he gets parnose, like you do a job, he does a job, he gets his parnose. Bald as arbeit for day. He works, he gets paid. Aber nicht wie ein Melech. Was jeder Rotzen seinem, gibt ihm der Am. The Melech, anything that he wants, the Am has to give him. Anossi is not like this. Anossi doesn't get what he wants. Anossi, he gets his salary, exactly. He gets his salary, how much he works. If he's Anossi all day, you know, there is a Rabbanim full day, a Rav that is only half a day, he gets according to whatever he does. So we have two differences to repeat it, between a Melech and Anossi. Melech is Gashmias, Nossi is Ruchnias. Melech has nothing to do with Ruchnias. And this what it says, Lasis Mishpat is just to finish up what they gave out the Psakdin. He makes sure that it's going to happen. The second thing is that a Melech gets everything from his Am, and he takes whatever he wants, and he gets everything what he has is from the Am. Mashenken, the Nossi gets a salary for the time that he works. Or he's done it. Or that zweite Rinyan, this second difference that we said between a Melech and a Nossi, that a Melech gets everything from the Am, and a Nossi gets just a salary. Or that zweite Rinyan, as a Melech nimmt out from dem Am, weiß auf Adobo veipuche. Beautiful. It's just something, such contradicting, such opposites, like I say, like Mizrach HaMayriv. What is it? Es weiß doch ein Teike von dem Melech. From one side it shows an a Teike. If you could take, as we said before, you see a good craftsman, hey, you're coming to work for me. I don't have to pay you. I'm the Melech, you work for me. So we see a moiridiken Teike. Wir der ganze Arm und also sie oben, ich werde duken, was Shekono Evet Kono Raboy, kann bei sie nehmen, was will. You know what the level is? There's a loche, Shekono Evet Kono Raboy. Evet goes in the street. A real slave that you buy, and he finds something, he can't go and buy ice cream with it, he can't buy anything with it. He has to come and give it to the other. Same thing is the arm. Everything that you have belongs to the Melech. This is from one side. Leider, when you look at the other side, man is contradicting, weißt es euch auf der Schwachkeit von dem Melech. Shows on a very great weakness. Legabi Sharom is weaker than all the nation that is the Melech on them. As in alle seine Milure Zäune, darf onkommen zum Arm. He has nothing. Whatever he needs, he gets from the arm. So from one side he's very strong, he could do whatever he wants, everything belongs to him, but what does he have? Only from the arm. Sharom, the rest of the nation that is Melech, bekommen sie Parnasse durch seine Regeneration. As we said before, you go to work, you get paid. You don't go to work, you don't get paid. בכל השתעשה. says זה חומש דבורים, ברך השם, בכל השתעשה. What you do, you get paid. אפילו הפרנס על הציבור. As we said before, was nehmen sein Parnasse min Tzibur, so it's the same thing as the Melech, because the Parnas gets it from the Tzibur. Rabbi says, no, it's doch sein Tasse, or does his Parnas al Tzibur. His work, his job, is that his Parnas, so he gets paid a salary. Mashenkin HaMelech, was alles was rot, is a Mekabel von dem Am. He has nothing on his own, everything he gets from Am. So we see a very interesting contradiction in a situation of a Melech, what a Melech is. So the Rebbe gives up, is the beer in them. The Rebbe gives a geschmack in beer, and this is the answer. As Ian Oisenes, look into this. Ian Oisenes. This is the reason, and it's not contradicting that it's opposite. Why? Because the same thing as you say that a partner gets from the tzibur because he gets a salary. You go and you do a job for me, I pay you. I do a job for you, you pay me. Same thing is the melech. It's not something that he has to is lower than the that's why he's getting it. What is his job? To give everything to the arm. He's nothing. Everything that he is the arm. That's why he gets everything. The beer and the Ma'azian is and listen inside. A melech is ein ganzer Inyan. When is a melech, asher yetzihem v'asher yevihem. Zu dienen dem Am. Und der Vater ist a mekabel von dem Am. That's it. It's a completely different look. Why is he getting everything from the Am? Because he's working for the Am. Everything that he does is the Am. I say. Damit wir nur verstehen den Vergleich von a melech zu Leib, Davke und nicht zu Rosh Moyach. In this paragraph, the Rebbe is going to answer, how come that we say that a melech is Leib, Libam Shel Yisrael, the Losh of the Rambam, and Davke Anosi that is lower than the melech is called Rosh. A major question. What is going on here? How do you do it? Melech is the highest level that there is, and is only by the art. The art itself needs the Moyach. And here comes to say that the Nosi is the Moyach. How could it be? The Rebbe is going to answer this, and then later the Rebbe is going to explain why the Nosi is called Moyach. So we have two separate things to answer. Why the Melech is Leib, and why the Nosi is Rosh. Ois Hei. Damit wir nur verstehen den Vergleich von einem Melech zu Leib, Davke, und nicht zu Rosh Moyach. Doesn't make any sense. Und die Chilukim zwischen Leib und Moyach sein. I'm going to explain what's the difference between a Leib and a Moyach, and then we'll see why a Melech is Davke, Leib and not Moyach. Aleph, the Rebbe gives two differences. The Leib steht in der Keseder dicken Tnue von Rotze Veshoiv. And the Zohar says, Tfiku de Liebe. Chas Vesholem. The art stops, man is gone. The art, there's a question that a human being, anybody, any creation has to rest. You don't rest, you're not, somebody makes a shua, I'm not going to sleep 3 nights or 7 nights. They force him right away that he has to go battle the nether and go to sleep because it's impossible. You need to sleep. So what is the art? When is the art resting? So according to Refuah, is when the art is pumping, he's walking. When he goes back, when he's relaxing, the blood comes in, then he's relaxing. So he's walking and resting, walking and resting. But it's Fiku Delibi all the time, there's no stop. Rotze Vishoy. Mashenkin in Moyach is nicht looking to Moyach doesn't work like the art. Well, you know what? It's interesting that Moyach till today, doctors don't know almost nothing. In the heart they know everything. Because the heart is a pump. And a pump you could learn what it is. And you find out how to fix it and everything. Moyach you can do nothing about it. Could you imagine that in this Moyach, in a small Moyach, you have everything. You remember what you did 50 years ago and 60 years ago. And you're having Gibores and Aloches, and some people know Shas and Poskim Baal Peh. Some people know Mishnah Baal Peh.
They can't do brain transplant.
Exactly right. Exactly, another point. You have a liver transplant, you have kidney, you have heart, everything. Brain, they don't know. Okay, so brain is not working. Schenken die Moyach ist nicht doch in nur. Von ihm nimmt sich Tage der Chayes vom ganzen Guf, as you said before. The electricity, that's what it means. The electricity to the earth comes up from the Moyach. Over the Moyach allein steht beim Menucha. So we have one difference between the Lev and the Moyach. Very simple. Lev is working all the time. Moyach is not working. Base. The Lev is the schwachste von alle Evraguf. Unbelievable, interesting chidush here that we never learned it. Lev is the schwachste von alle Evraguf. A viele von the Moyach. Lev is a very weak organ. The sagt in Zoyar, Libo, iu rokich vecholosh. Libo, the Lev is soft and weak. So we have two things. Number one is that Lev is always betnue, Moyach is not. Second is the Lev is very weak and the Moyach is stronger than the Lev. It says cholosh. Cholosh is weak, schwach. Yeah. As die zwei Tchune seinen Tolui zu bezu. The Rebbe is going to say very geschmack. Why is it rokich v'cholosh? Because he's working all the time. So it's these two, what you just said is one. One is causing the other one. What is it? As it's very tchune seinen Tolui zu bezu. The Lev is rokich v'cholosh. Why is he soft and weak? Schwacher von alle Evorim is weaker than all other Evorim, weil sein ganze Metzies ist, was ist, der Chayes Evorim. Hat nicht noch anien, oder das, was ist Mechayet im Guf. The Rebbe doesn't say it clearly, but as we understand from the Rebbe's learning already, there are so many Sichas, but the Rebbe says it is very interesting. What is the Lev interested in? Nothing about himself. He's not worrying about himself. What is he worried all day? To give blood to the whole body. To supply blood and get this body alive. So that's why he's schwach. He's not thinking about himself. Und der Fall steht in Abkseder nur, why? Because his Metzias is only the Evorim. So what happens then? Aleph steht in Abkseder nur, because he knows if he stops, there's no life. But das weiß, dass sein Geseder die ganze Metzias ist Mechai and the Evra Guf. This shows you, what does he want? To be Mechai the Guf. Because the second it doesn't work, there's no Chayes. Beis, is a schwache Metzias, weil is zu lieb the andere Evorim. Is all cause of the earth. A liver is a liver, a kidney is a kidney, a foot is a foot. Yeah, you use the foot to go, use the hand to do something. But he has his own thing. Everybody has his own thing. What is the art? Giving chayes to the whole body. That's what he is there. And it doesn't stop all the time. A hand you could put down, he's not using it for a day. But the art, you can't put it down for a day, you can put it down for 2-3 minutes, you can put it down. So this is all. Now we see that it's dependent one on another. Why is he weak? Because he's working not for himself, only for the whole body. The Moyach is umgetrunken von der Evraguf. The art is melubesh in the whole body. He gives blood to the whole body, and this is all Inyan. The Moyach is umgetrunken von der Evraguf. Ist stark, der Moker Achais und Guf. In this aspect is higher than the Lev, because he gives the Lev also Chayes. Aber bleibt auf Dolle von sich. He's separated from them. Und das ist euch aber weiß, dass damit ist für sich. Moyach is a thing for himself. Now von ihm kommt der Chayes on to the Evorim. He's an independent organ, and he gives Chayes to the whole body. Mashenk and the Lev is pumping and is giving the whole time, he doesn't stop. Und therefore, what comes out from that? It's alles nicht talking nur in the Moyach, yeah? Because he's for himself, he's not doing for somebody else. As we have Dole from the Evra group, that's why he doesn't have to have at Noe. Bezer is nicht rocker v'cholosh with the Lev, as a Metziz b'fnatzmoi. The minute you have Metziz b'fnatzmoi, he's strong, he gets Chayes. The Lev is busy the whole time to give other ones, he doesn't think about himself.
So he's separate from the Evra group? Why does this go?
Yeah, it's separate means that he's Be'avdole, he's remote, he's alone, yes, he's higher from them. As we're going to explain it later more. In detail, when the Rebbe is bringing down now, we're talking about Moyach and Lev. Later we're going to compare the same thing to the outcome of Moyach and outcome of Lev. What's the outcome of Moyach? Seichel. What's the outcome of Lev? Midas. I'm going to show in Midas and in Moyach the same thing as here. As we're going to see in the next page. Und therefore, and this is why, Vert HaMelech zugeglichen zu Lev darf. Now we're coming to understand why HaMelech is Lev. Yeah? Everybody could understand now very simple by yourself. Don't have to go any further. Why is he Lev? What is his whole idea? His whole life? Highest to the whole nation. Nothing for himself. He's busy. Asher Yitzim, Asher Yivim, day and night. What's HaMelech? Chodea. The father of HaMelech zugeglichen zum Lev davke. And I mean, I can hold myself back. I wanted to say by the end. And again, to mention that this shows us what the Rebbe is. We don't have to tell you the people not on the project we put the Sichas what we know and what the Rebbe is, but it's good. A lot of people not Lubavitch are listening to that. There is nothing in the just as an example for them. There's no such thing as somebody should be Rebbe for 40 years and not take 1 day vacation. The Rebbe went to Camp Gan Yisrael. Next year they asked him to go again. He said, I didn't pay back yet the last year. There was a flat in the middle of the way or whatever. I didn't pay back yet what I lost the time then. And interesting story that everybody knows, the Rebbe went and she bought 2 beach chairs and she put it on the back porch. The Rebbe came home and the Rebbe sat down. I don't know if he said that for 30 seconds. The Rebbe said, "Yoitze for country for now and for all my life." This is what the Rebbe is. The Rebbe could have been the Rebbe's Geschmack. If you want to describe the Rebbe in one word, how do you describe the Rebbe? Give roches, give dollars. How do you describe the Rebbe in one word? Very good. But I mean something else. Melech, also good. Also good, but you have 3 already. The top what I use always, Teure. The Rebbe is a Teure. The Rebbe wanted to sit and learn Teure. The Rebbe gave away his Geschmack and being attached to Eibishter just with Teure, and he gave away his time for Yechidus, and he gave away his time for entering and giving dollars. Everything is the Indian of Meshirus Nefesh for Am Yisrael. This is what a Melech is. The father of the Melech zugeglichen zu Leib, dachte, Baruch HaMelech hat die 2 Trunnen zu Leib. A Melech has the 2 things of a Leib. Genau Steve Dalet. Steht in a Kestelo, die can zugetrunkenheit zum Mann. There's no such thing. 1 minute that he doesn't think about it. What does the Rebbe do by Krishna Shalamita, the Prediker Rebbe says? Thinks about Chassidim. And some Chassidim felt it. Benonim, Ayadem Benoni, there could be by the Chassidim of the Rebbe Rashav. They felt when the Rebbe thought about them by Krishna Shalamita, they felt it as a movement, as a zoze in their art, in their brain. Asher Yitzim, Asher Yivim, weil der Teuchen in a Meluche, what's Meluche? Shedin dem Am. That's it. Und ein Time ist da Schwachkeit in seinem Metzies. Da gab es Sharom, was ist von seinem Kabel alle seine Trochen. That's why yes, if all his idea is to do for them, everything that he gets is from them. Oizvov. Der Chilek Anal zwischen Leib und Moyach gefindt man euch durch Mosoi in die Keuches HaNefesh, wo seinen ungetonnen See, Seichel Shebe Moyach und Midischlet. Can't think it's a fine deal. That Leib is walking always. He doesn't think about himself. That's why he's schwach. Moyach is always resting in his alof. Is not melubish in the goof. We find it also in the outcome of them. Der Ingen von Seichel zu verstehen, als Sach kann sein la Mitose nur, wenn der Mensch bleibt bei Avdole. Wenn der Mensch bleibt bei Avdole von der Sach. When you separate it from this thing. Was will verstehen. Somebody is listening to something, is learning something, and he wants to understand it. If you have what's called in English, pre-notion, if you go to it with something that you have already, something you heard already from before or whatever, then you get bedobo. What is that? Preconception. You never. After all, I'm Israeli. I never went to school to learn English. So if you have something again preconception, then whatever you're going to do, work on it and think, you're going to come out to the Shoichat. It's Shoichat because you are running Ger Bedobo. So what Amoyach has to be? Separated from you. Nothing to do with you. If it's anything with you, it's not the Emes. Von der Sache, was will verstehen. Heute die Sache ist verbunden und reingemischt. In dem Seichel ist das Shoichat. Das wird Mathe sein, dem Seichel, und wird nicht verstehen die Sache richtig. It's gonna make him, call it a crooked Seichel. He's gonna come out with a crooked thing, not with Emes. This is when you talk about Seichel. Mashenke, the Rim from Midas, is so Seichel is the same thing as the Moyach. Moyach is Alof and is always separated. He gives Chayes. It's fine. Seichel gives also Chayes. Then you learn something, you have the Chayes in that. But it has to be without any gear. Removed from you. Schenke the from Midas is the Gefühl von einem Mensch. What's Midas? What's Midas? If there's no Gefühl, that's not called Midas. What is the Midah? A Midah is that Avraham Avinu sat by the door and he was looking for guests. Why did he look for guests? Because if there's no people to do Chesed, there's no Chesed. In the Maimar of the Bar Mitzvah, we always say it. Der Gefühl von Menschen zu der Sach. Yes, der Gefühl zu der Sach. Adrabe, not like Moyach, Seichel, that is not allowed to have a connection. Das kommt durch dem, was mit Rock zu der eigenen Metzies zu der Sach. You Metzies zu dieser. You have to look. Somebody is in the street without shoes, without socks. So the Midah says, you need somebody else, and you need to be yourself to feel it that you hurt for somebody else, or you love somebody else. Bis das ruft euch, hier der Rebbe says it clear, bis das ruft euch bei ihm, und in him a Gefühl von Kiruvabe oder Rotchebuchlo. Depends on what you're thinking. There's a way to think about the Eibishter that is great, that you love him. Then there's a thing that sometimes you think about the Eibishter that is so great that I'm afraid. I have to be careful what I do. So Midas is you, and it brings out Ave Vere. Und davon kommt der Reus der Chilek zwischen Seichel und Midas in die 2 Trunes Anal. Now we're going to see Seichel and Midas the same thing as by Etzem Alein and Etzem Amoyach. Where do we see it? The Rebbe says very clear. Aleph Midas is in Yonon is Pilus Pnue. Yeah? Is Pilus. If somebody is Pilus, he moves and he runs and that's his Pilus. Mashenke Seichel verlangt es bei den Scherben. If somebody wants to concentrate, sit down by himself and concentrate in Lerner Sicha, and Lerner Gemor, and Lerner Rambam, he needs quiet. If there's a noise in the house, he can't learn. Moyach needs relaxed, and the Rebbe uses soon, trilly showing, it's right here. Mashenke Sechel verlangt is boinenus, it needs this yashvus. Yashvus means that you shouldn't be disturbed with something else. You don't have a problem on your head that you could not concentrate. And menuche. You have to be rested, otherwise the moyach doesn't work. Beis, the second thing, midet eine nicht kein stark kein dicke mitzvah. We have two things, right? We said that the art is schwach, is weak, and it works the whole time. Where do we see it in mides? Mides sind nicht kein stark kein dicke mitzvah, sie sind ein Olul zu nicht stane werden. Ein Filter azoi, morgen Filter anders. Mides is changeable. A minute you feel like this, in the second minute you could be changed completely. Mashenke Seich Lamiti. Because the Rebbe brings down in the bottom from the Rebbe Nishmosed Lechoyer comes out opposite, so we're not going to go into it, just bring that that's Amiti. He's talking about a Seichel Amiti, wird nicht nishtan. And Seichel macht a Maskone, and it's a Emes a Maskone, without is Negie, is das der Fall, weil so is der Emes, bemeil is das Onshinuin. Now we're going to come to explain about, we didn't explain it about Anoshi, why it's called Rosh. A Melech we understood beautiful, now we're coming to the Melech. על פי זה בדבר פרשנדיק זה חיליק צביש המלך וננוסי המלך מוצאים יונו איזה אשר יציאים ואשר יביאים זה רeingeto mit Eislapschus im משפיע dem עם זה ירץ רוחם ואת המלך אשר יציאים ואשר יביאים is busy his all life is to give the am what they need בדיוק בבידה לב is מחיה לא יבורם is like the lave is nicht sein Ingen Seichel bei Moyach Shakle Betarje he doesn't have any Shakle Betarje he doesn't have to learn in Avela so geschmeitzer liebe der Hilchese bringt dann a Loches to Poel Mamish what is his Ingen? Opposite what the Am needs Davke der Nossi was steht bei Avdole von dem Am is sein Ingen Ikri Roish und Moyach של הדור so Roish gem Psak Din Teure Chochmoset Bornege alle Inyonem it's impossible to be a poishek and be a nosi ador and give out the psokim in every aloches, in not easy aloches, everything he has to do. How could he do it? Only the nosi could do it because the nosi is the end of moyach. Now it's understood why we call the melech, we call him Lev, and the nosi is called rosh. And the fathers are nosi. Gam zeshe bemelech, as you said before, that there's a metzies. The Rebbe mentioned already in one word that Moshe Rabbeinu has in both qualities, also a nosi and also a melech. Who is a nosi? Who a kohen? He's everything. Weil euch der Leib is mekabel from the Noach Canal. The same as the Leib is mekabel from Moyach, the same thing is the Melech is mekabel from the Nossi. The Rebbe is going to bring beautiful proof that the Melech is mekabel from the Nossi. Number one, Melech could not judge in Aloche, so this is one thing. But the other thing is that the Melech is getting from us a beautiful proof from a Rambam from Aloche. Yono is to mashpia zanim chayes, euch dem von Moyach shale evorim. This what the art is giving everything comes from the moyach. Which is by a melech Parshas. Look at this, by a melech Parshas. What's in Yonoi? So ois führen beim Am Euro Satoro. Listen to this. What is the obligation for melech? The Rambam. Where's the lotion of the Rambam? Hour 52. Hey Rambam Bilchas Velochim Sof Perek Dalet. V'tiye Magomosoi is all. Magomosoi is all gold. Yeah, it's gold. What does he have to do all day? What is he thinking? Leorim daso emes chulu. What does it mean leorim daso emes? He has to see that the nation is doing what the Rebbe wants, what the Torah wants. And it says even more. He has to learn himself to know how to do, and he has to bring to the arm that they should do what the Bezen and the Nossi is saying. Now listen to this, what the Rebbe is bringing from the Rambam. Unbelievable. Bizaz is a mitzvah. I never learned it till this Sicha. It's a mitzvah ala melech lechabed loim de Torah. Rebbeinu Shalom, he's melech. He has to be mechabed loim de Torah. Why is he mechabed loim de Torah? Because he has to take from the loim de Torah. Same as the heart takes also from the brain. Same thing is the nos is the brain and he's the heart. He has to take from the brain. Where do we see it? Listen to this. She comes to the bottom of Sanhedrin. Klore Wörter from the Rambam. She comes to the bottom of Sanhedrin. The Chachmei Yisrael. Yamoid lifneim chulu. Could you understand it? The Melech has to stand up for the Chachmei Yisrael. So we see why it's called Lev, why they are called this. Now we're going to come to the idea, what we said before, beautiful, unbelievable. I mean, it's Mom is touching us because we know that this is, that the Rebbe is mashpia everything, the Rebbe gives us everything, Gashmias and Ruchnes, as we're going to see, the Rebbe brings proof, beautiful proof, that Moshe Rabbeinu and Moshiach are Sai Nossi, Sai Rab, that is teaching, and Sai Melech, that is giving all the Gashmias that we need. אומרים המלך בסוף. אוי סחס. יצאו קומצו ההדגושה מיוחדת ונגיע עצו מוישה רבינו. Von wem wir lernen der Reus der Nossi Koil. Wer du lernen Nossi Koil? Für die Story mit Moshe Rabbeinu in Parshas Chukas. Das erzählt Vaishlach Moshe Malochim und dann erzählt Vaishlach Israel Malochim. So von Moshe wir lernen der Nossi Koil. Als bei ihm seine Gewinn, beide Ufanash Poes, sei Lev und sei Moyach. Wer du bist jetzt? Moshe ist gewinn am Melech. Moshe Kosu bei Bishur und Melech und sich vernommen mit Maschpier sein Iden alle sehr Zroche Moyach Agashen. I think rasch an Brocho. Wenn es jetzt bei Bishur und Melech, rasch ist Moshe Rabbeinu, was die Melech. Was ist Melech? Libon shel Israel. Zusammen damit ist gewesen Nossi und Rosh Sanhedrin. Moshe Rabbeinu was Nossi und Rosh Sanhedrin. Beiterum ze. Listen to this. We talk about Moshe Rabbeinu. Kol inyon Torah. Not only them. The whole of Torah is seine inyon Torah Moshe Avdi. Apostel Malachi. Zichru Torah Moshe Avdi. Rebbe calls it Torah Moshe. Rebbe himself calls it Torah Moshe. Ist der was gibt Torah mit Sinai und hat gelernt Torah mit alle Eden. Was ist sie? Moyach. Moshe Rabbeinu ist Lev, Melech, und er ist Moyach. Wer du bist jetzt bei Moschiachen, und er soll gefunden bei Moschiachen, was ist Moschiach? Bei Moschiach in Moshe Rabbeinu? Bei der Rebbe in Moshe Rabbeinu. Very simple, was Moshe Goy Rish und Goy Lach, that's why it is. Als bei ihm will neuer sein beide in Yonim. It's going to be Melech, bei ihm wird sein in Malchus. You know what, it's not going to be Melech Stam. There was never a Melech and a Melucha, it's going to be by the Malchus of Moshiach. If it says Yitzchak for Yom Tzadik, Rav Shalom B'Yereach, V'Yeyad Miyom Ad Yom, there was no such thing. And the Shleimus in Ruchnis, the Shleimus in Gashmis, is going to be only Moshiach. And zusammen damit is there also Rav, as also a Nossi. What's a Nossi? A teacher, who gives the Aloha, the Rav. She'ilma Teiro, Eskolom, Chula. Today with Zoom maybe. I want to finish this with a very interesting thing. I think it's very negea because we're very touched from this Sicha to feel how connected we have to be with the Rebbe and do what the Rebbe wants, Mifzoim and learning and Rambam and Chitas and do what the Rebbe wants. The Rebbe is showering, the Rebbe is pouring with big, what's it called? Buckets and pails, and we have to, but if you're not there, how could you get it? You have to be there to get it. A story that I remember, that's a beautiful story related to this Sicha and to the Iskashus zum Rebbe. Rabbi Weinberg, Rabbi Yosef Weinberg, I heard it from himself, and it's on gem as a video from it, but it says that I heard it from him. He was a mashpia in our shul. We heard it from him a lot of times. There was a Jew that was named Rabbi Yankiv Grifel. I wrote it down to know exactly that. Rabbi Yankiv Grifel, he was a very rich man, and after the war, he had a connection with the embassies, and he got visas to save a lot of Eden, to bring him to America, and to bring him to Eretz Yisrael. His business was with oil. A big business in oil, they were a big business, and he lived in Oklahoma. One night he called Rabbi Weinberg and said there's a very big problem and a question that he wants him to ask the Rebbe. So Rabbi Weinberg says maybe tomorrow. Says no, I need an answer tonight. So Rabbi Weinberg ran to 770. Came to 770. We know that every night when there's no Yechides, Rabbi Chadakov is going to the Rebbe, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whenever the Rebbe is ready to go home, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whenever it is, and would spend their time, and the Rebbe would make a summation. What happened today? Chadakov would tell the Rebbe what he did today, shluchim and everything what he did, and some worse for next day. I heard it myself from Olav Hashem, Rabbi Yamin Klein, that Rabbi Chadakov was once by the Rebbe. He had always a little piece of paper, and he wrote down what the Rebbe tells him what to do tomorrow. Studying the Rebbe saying, and he's writing down, and he's giving the Rebbe from the other paper what he did today. So the Rebbe told him that I got that paper. You should send him $100. So Rabbi Chadakov, he was the Rebbe's Sarah Oitzer, and the Rebbe had problems with him with the money. There's a beautiful video when he comes to take matzah or lekker by the Rebbe says, Adatim is coming, the Rebbe goes into the room and shuts off the light. And the Rebbe said, I heard it myself, I was there, that he's going to help out whoever's going to kasher the kitchen, is going to give 50% for buying new kelim and for kashering. And the Rebbe says, Rabbi Chadakov was in the hospital, he wasn't feel good. The Rebbe said, my Sarah Oitzer is not here, I could do whatever I want. The Rebbe said, So Rabbi Chadakov told the Rebbe, he never asked for any money. In the letter, he sent a book to the Rebbe, a matone. The Rebbe says, if I eat this sat down and he wrote a whole book about Moshiach, he probably needs some money. So he told him to give $100. So Rabbi Weinberg came, and it came too late. Rabbi Chadakov was already in the room. What did we do? So he took the letter and he put it in the door. And he told Rabbi Chadakov, he's opening the door, he's going to see it, he's going to take it. Rabbi Chadakov goes out for the Rebbe. How does he walk? Backwards. He opens up the door, and the letter falls down, and he doesn't even see it because his back is there. As soon as he opens a little door, it falls down. It's in the, I don't know what you call it in English. in the crack and the spalt, in the crack. The Rabbi Weinberg uses the spalt, he didn't know how to say it in English. So he goes out and the ladder falls down. The Rebbe is sitting on the other side where Rabbi Charev goes out, the Rebbe sees her falling down. And Rabbi Weinberg could see. The Rebbe is getting up and he's going till he closes the door, the Rebbe bends down and he picks it up. Rabbi Weinberg felt terrible. Next morning, 15 minutes later, the Rebbe came out, he gave Rabbi Charev an answer to give Rabbi Weinberg for this Yaakov Griffel. And next morning I wrote into the Rebbe letter, I'm sorry, I thought that Rabbi Charev was going to find it, and I feel terrible. I asked Mechila, I matriach the Rebbe to bend down and pick up a letter. You know what that means? Be matriach the Rebbe. So the Rebbe answered him, I said in Lashon Kodesh and then in English. Lashon Kodesh in Yiddish, what the Rebbe said. The Rebbe wrote to him, it's Mavldike Wörter. This shows us what the Rebbe is, what the Rebbe is today, what the Rebbe needs, what the Rebbe wants we should do, because he could not do it. We have to bring Mashiach. The Rebbe says, Aloizeh kol inyoni. What is my own thing? What we learn the Sicha? What's a melech? Asher yitzim asher yivim. It's nothing for himself. What does the heart have? Work only for the whole body. It's not brain, it's heart. The Rebbe says, my whole inyan is to oifoib, to elevate. And especially things that other people don't see. That other people... I don't know if this is Loshen says, and it says there, there's a shacherim mis'al mimem. This is not what the Rebbe meant. In English, what he said, things that right. Misalme means that you don't want to see it, you don't want to pick it up. It's not. Rabbi Chadakov didn't see it. The Rebbe meant to say the acherim. He said in English, overlook. My inyan is to elevate, and especially things that other people are overlooking. That's my tafkid. When somebody is overlooking, I'm there to elevate. This is what the Rebbe is.